Unstitched Bird. Today I bring you my new red shirt. It is on red, my model. So I'm really excited to talk to you about this particular project. Now, before I get started, what I'm wearing is the Cashmerette Concord T. It's one of my go-tos for t-shirts. To be fair, it's not that warm here in Canterbury this weekend. It's quite cold, so I'll probably be putting another layer on very soon. Anyway, let's get started. So the pattern that I'm reviewing today, or the pattern that I want to talk to you about, is McCall's 7838. And I'll put the line art and things up there for you. It is a blouse, and it's quite an over-the-top blouse if you choose to make the view that I made. And I'll probably have to put my specs on to read this. So I made view C, which is the one here pictured with the model. There are various views. You can do another view where you don't put the cuff on, this piece here. You can do another view and it has bows around the connection here. So it's still got this sleeve part and then the bow goes around there, and this is just all loose. There's a totally different sleeve altogether which has a puff detail, which I wouldn't mind trying. And then it has a short sleeve puff as well. The collars are all the same. The only difference is I think B has a straight across front hem with a curved hem at the back, and A looks like it's just straight across. Of course, it doesn't say too much on the pattern. I don't know whether it says anything inside about the different views. It's not a lot of information, not like on the indie patterns where they actually explain all the different views. There's pretty not much here telling you about that, but I will just put that up so you can see all the different views. And it's got potential for hacking this particular pattern as well. Like you could admit doing the collar and just do the wee mandarin, just the single band around the neck and not put the collar on. So let's talk firstly about what I did for this version. The pattern that I have is a size 14 to 22, which means it would be a bust of 42 to 50 inches, and yeah, I don't know, where is the centimetres? Pass. Oh, here we go. So the bust, beg your pardon, the finished garment measurements are 41.5 to 49.5. That's the pattern that I have. And the length is from 19.5 to 20.5. So that gives you an idea. It's quite a slim fitting pattern, to be fair. Even though on the back, I'll just pick up the piece again. Even though on the back view, it has this gorgeous yoke and a little tuck. So that gives you a little bit more room. But to be fair, I looked at the pattern finish measurements and I found it quite a fitting top. So I normally in indie patterns make around a size 16 to 18, depending whether they have the full bust option or not. So that sort of varies a wee bit. And it depends on the type of top too, whether that's got a little bit more ease or what have you. But this pattern, I went to a size 22. So that's a jump up, you know, in a few sizes. So you have to be aware of that when you're making the big four patterns. Their sizing's totally different to the indie patterns. So as I said, I did view C. View C has the sleeve to here, then it has these great big balloon sleeves and then fitted to a cuff. And the cuff is quite a long cuff. I lined my cuff with a bit of leftover Liberty fabric, and I didn't have enough fabric for doubling the yoke, so I actually used some Liberty fabric for the yoke on the inside as well, and it's quite a fun little print, goes with the red. The fabric itself is a cotton, but it's got a self sort of ribbed texture to it, so I fiddled with this pattern quite a bit. So I sort of went across the grain a little bit in some places. So the rib, I believe, actually went across from the selvage to the selvage. So technically, this blouse should have the ribbon going across, but I folded my fabric the other way, and I have got the little ribbon going down on the main front and back pieces. But on the yoke, I've actually got it, I'm just going to, hopefully this doesn't fall off. On the back, I've got it going across, got the stripes going down that way. And then on the sleeves, I've got it going down until I get to this big puff, and I've got it going across. And I've also got it going across on the cuff as well. So I fiddled around with it because I didn't really want the stripes going across. It has darts in here. This top part of the sleeve, I have to be fair and say that it is actually quite firm on me. That is the style of the pattern. They want it to be tight around here, then have this big billowy sleeve coming out. I potentially would slice it and even just add 1/2 inch into it, maybe 1.5 centimeters, something like that, just to give it a little bit more ease. But then it does depend on the fabric as well, what you're using. It's got a little bit of give in this fabric, but not much. So that would be something that I would do next time. The other thing is the arm side is kind of a little bit small. It's not huge. I mean, it's okay comfort wise for me to wear the top blouse, but potentially I would perhaps make that a little bit bigger too, just to give a bit more room around here. So that was 2 things that I thought that I would do next time. Now, because this is a big 4 pattern, there are 15mm seams, and I did the burrito method, which they don't tell you to do. They tell you on the yoke to press it down, and I don't know whether it's top stitch or hand sew it down, but I did the burrito method on the yoke, and I did French seams all along the sides. Instead of folding the band to the wrong side and stitching it, I folded it to the right side and stitched it. I just think that gives you a much nicer finish. So I did that a little bit differently. It's got quite a lot of buttons, this pattern. You are meant to put 4 on the sleeve, but I only put 3. I just wanted to use buttons from my stash. So I've got 3 on each cuff. And I found these gorgeous little shank buttons in my stash, but I only had enough to do the front with them. And they're really quite cute for this top. The other thing I did was I added a little label, to see if I can bring it around. Added a little label in the side seam. It's got a couple of little cherries on it. I did put a label in the back as well. I just think I put one of my own labels in there. So the pattern, to be fair, I was quite surprised. It takes quite a lot of fabric. So for my size, you're looking at, you're looking at about 3 meters for 115. 150, it's not too bad. You're looking at 2.2 meters for the size 22. So it's a range, if you're looking at size 6, it's a range of 2 meters to 2.2 meters for the 150 centimeter width fabric. For the 115 centimeter fabric, I'm sort of imagining likes of those Liberty prints and things like that. They've got the narrower width. You're looking at 2.3 for the size 6 through to 3.1 for the size 22. So it's just the amount that you need in this sleeve part. You notice they're quite gathered and puffy. So I found that it went together really well. I really enjoyed the sewing process. I just really love this colour too. It's one of my favourite colours. The other thing I did, because it had a curved hem, is I bound the hem. I actually used some, I don't know if you can see that on camera, I just used some red bias binding from my stash, and I just bound the hem, and I think it just looks a bit better and it sits a bit better with the curve. But as I said, you don't have to do the curve version. View A is straight across, so you can mix and match the sleeves and the style. Like, it would make a cute summer blouse. I'd love to make the wee puff short sleeve one, and in particular I want to do view B for this time of the year, which has just got this simple sleeve with a puff up the top here. So I'm planning to definitely make this top again. I really like the fit on me. I'm glad I really carefully checked the sizes to make sure that it was going to fit around. I've got quite a bit of room in it, and I'll put some pics up here of me wearing it. I've just got it paired with some jeans, and I did wear it out the other night. I've actually got a little bit of food damage there, which I'll have to give it a wee wash. I've already enjoyed wearing it. So I'll put some pics up there. I'm just wearing it with jeans, and I think it's quite an over-the-top kind of style top, so I probably wouldn't pair it with anything too crazy. Just a plain bottom, or just a simple bottom perhaps. So that's what I've done with McCall's 7838. We'll definitely make this top again. I think it's just a really unique style, and yeah, I enjoyed making it, and I love the wee collar. I just think it's really cute. Unfortunately, with my other sewing, I've been having a little bit of, well, they're not really, I wouldn't say they're failures, but they haven't been the best outcomes, and that is sewing pants. So I normally make the Love Notion Allegros, and what I haven't done in the past, which I've decided to do recently, is check out what it looks from the back. And I tried a pair that I had been wearing that I thought looked great from the front, and then I looked at the back view and I thought, wow, they are bordering on being a little bit indecent. I'm talking about this issue here. So they sort of disappear up the back part of your bottom. So anyway, I've done a lot of research on this. I've spent a lot of time researching and unpicking, because I made the Sewing Revival, I think they're the basic pants. I'll put a pic of that particular pattern, and I really liked the straight legs on them. They had a flat waistband at the front, and they had elastic at the back, and I thought they're going to be comfy. They had side pockets, everything that you'd need, not too tight. And the first pair I made, and I'll put a pic up there, I'll show you the back view anyway, I haven't taken the front view, they're really too tight. So that's easy fix. I just made the next size, but I made a huge mistake. I made them in a stretch fabric, and I think they're actually too big. My third attempt, I made them in a cotton type fabric with no give, and I think they do look better, but the issue that I'm having is back drag lines, which is this issue. So that's where you get all this pulling coming up the side there, and basically what they're saying is the back seat area is too long, and you need to take room out of the back seat area. So I'll show you the Love Notions pair where I've done that, and I've pinned it all. And they also say that you should basically look at scooping out the pants as well to make it deeper there, taking away some of this fabric. And I tried that as well, and to be fair, I kept on trying. I kept making 12s, and I've essentially given up. I've made a pair of navy, the basic pants, one that I was talking about, the Sewing Revival. I think they're okay. They're not the best fit, but I'll just make sure I wear a slightly longer shirt at the back because I think the front looks fine. So yeah, a bit of a struggle. Maybe I might have to go on a pants making course. A lot of the YouTubers that are promoting these classes and things, maybe I might have to look at doing one online when the next one comes along, because I really struggle to find pants that hit me in the right spot. I don't like them too low. I think if they're too high, it can be difficult when your size can fluctuate so much during, you know, every week there might be something different happening to your body. So I like the idea of elastic in part of the top of the waistband. Have anyone's got any great recommendations for pants? I know the Lane pants have just taken off. Everyone's making them and saying they're fantastic. However, I've looked at them, and to be fair, I'm not sure there's not so much fitting with those, because it seems to have a lot of gathers going around the front and the back for the fact that you've got the drawstring, which might be fine for a pair of casual pants, but I really want some more elevated fitted style pants. I guess it depends what type of fabric you use too. I'm tending to want to use thicker fabric at the moment because we're in winter in New Zealand. So I don't want anything as flowy because it's just not the right season. So at the moment I'm thinking about just really reverting to wearing jeans, buying the right pair of jeans for work so that they look tidy enough and I can elevate them with my top pieces and my coats and my boots and things like that. I haven't had this problem until recently. So obviously my body shape is still going through a bit of a change. And when that happens, obviously there has to be alterations to your pattern. So I'll keep you posted on how I'm going. What I did was the Love Notions one, which I put the picture of the back with all the pinning and whatnot. I unpicked the whole lot and I've recut a smaller size, and I'm just going to sew them up and wear them around home. They've got a bit of stretch in them as well. And I'll put the pic of my stretch version of the Sewing Revival, and then the non-stretch version, which I think are okay. I can get away wearing them. Another thing I've noticed, if I top stitch the back crotch, that alters the length because I think the stitches make it a bit smaller. So I'm probably not going to do that anymore unless I know the pattern definitely fits me. So quite a lot of issues with pants fitting, but hopefully we'll get there. So my next video, I'm hoping to show you a couple of things that I've kind of upcycled or repaired or anything like that, just to show you that sometimes you've got pieces in your wardrobe and you don't wear them. What can you do with them? If not, I'll have something that I've been working on in my sewing room. Anyway, thanks for watching today. I hope you give this pattern a go. I do recommend it. I think it's got lots of potential, especially with all the different sleeve options. And yeah, look forward to catching you next week.